Hey guys, and in this video I'm going to show you what red-osier dogwood is for deer and how it can really help your property and your bedding areas. So as you can see, there's a field right in here, and this is the field that we hunt primarily. And there's this good bedding area right here. It's a really good doe bedding area. Got some trees, and then it's got a field on the other side. And so this is a really good bedding area because if we had switchgrass in here on all sides, it would be even better. But it's really good because it's got natural browse in it, and we did not plant this. This is just in here. And what this is I don't want to break any of it because I want to transplant some into my other bedding areas. But this is red-osier dogwood, also known as red twig dogwood, but it's kind of yellowish at the base, greenish, and then it gets red up towards here. And during the spring, the deer can nibble on these, and they really like them because deer feed 5 times in a 24-hour period, so they need to feed while they're bedded. And like I said before, not putting a food plot right next to your bedding area, but putting browse, stem count, and shrubs in your bedding areas for them to feed on. And so red-osier dogwood's really good for just doing that, and especially for bedding areas. Good for staging areas, good for putting in your food plots, just an all-around good food for deer besides a food plot. And so maybe you have this all around your property. I know it's really in the Midwest, there's a lot of it around, and this is a natural site that I just found this year, and there's tons of red-osier dogwood in this spot. So if you have a lot of this on your property and you think that's just good enough for deer to eat, that you really need to put food plots on your property. You cannot just count on this stuff to feed the deer. You need to have a variety, diversity of the food plots, the fields, ag fields, and shrubs, hardwood regeneration, stuff like that, because you need that in your bedding areas, especially this red-osier dogwood. And then, as you can see over here, this is yellow dogwood, and this is all yellow. There's no red on it, and it's pretty tall. This stuff kind of has 3 shoots coming out, and this one's just straight up. So this is yellow dogwood. I think it would still help the deer. I'm not really sure on what yellow dogwood does, but I'm pretty sure the deer can still feed on it. And then come over here, and we've got a lot of big dogwood back in here. Right in here, there's a lot of dogwood, as you can see. It's really red stuff right here. That's an old one that's dead now. Lots of yellow dogwood. That one's really tall. It's probably 6 feet tall. And then we come over here and into some of this thicker stuff. Here's some really good, that's a really tall red-osier dogwood, and it's got these other shoots right around it. But the tallest one is right here, and this is really good for just for deer to nibble on. They really like this stuff, and they will come to it. There's also stuff called browse plots. So it's kind of like a food plot, but you just put red-osier dogwood or stuff like that in it, stem count stuff. So that's another thing, but you can't just count on that browse plot to feed your deer herd. You have to have a variety of food. And over here, there's some more red-osier dogwood. And then up in here, there's some more. This one's still got the leaves on it. It kind of looks like thorns, but they're actually shoots. And we have, right over here. This is another good example because here are a huge number of buck rubs right in here. there's probably just one big racked buck because it reached from this side to this side and down in here. So that must have been a really wide antler buck. I don't know how old this is, probably last year. But this is a nice rub all the way up in here. Might have been this year, probably not, but I don't see any shavings on here, so unless they're under the leaves. But we got some even more red-osier dogwood back here, so hopefully, and a lot right there, hopefully we'll be able to transplant a lot of this red-osier dogwood, so that way we can put it in our other bedding areas for their browse. And so this will still have enough to supply this deer herd. There's more than enough dogwood in here for deer to bed and have browse. But our other bedding areas are they're better cover, but they don't have browse like they do in here. So we're going to transplant some of this into both bedding areas so that way they have browse. And then maybe even work on this a little bit. I don't really know what we'll do with this spot. Probably just leave it like this, but we might be able to come in here. Just checked the trail camera that I had on that tree looking over the field. Had a couple does on it, so they probably came in here and bedded. But this is a really good spot, and red-osier dogwood for deer is really good, especially to put in your bedding areas. And so, like I said, they really need that food in their bedding areas. So hopefully that helps you, and hopefully you have some natural sites of red-osier dogwood that you can put into your bedding areas, and that'll really help to feed your deer while they're bedded and to enhance your bedding areas in general.